So I've been playing with the same family since 2021 in The Sims 4, and if you're not familiarized with my O'Connor family, that family is my ride or die. I will do literally anything and everything to make them happy, sad, angry, give them money, take away money, everything. And I'm at the point in my playthrough where I'm still on Gen 1 that my Sim's father did something really bad, and I now have to demolish their childhood home to build them a brand new home so that way they have somewhere to live. So this video will be very yappy, and honestly, you are in for a treat because the tea, the drama I'm about to spill is about to get really juicy. So like I said, I've been playing with the same family since 2021, and my O'Connor family all started with my Sim Aspen Marie O'Connor when I did a sponsored video for The Sims 4 talking about my top 3 favorite packs for gameplay and storytelling. And I didn't really know that I was going to fall in love with that family because a lot of the times that when I make Sims, I don't have any purpose of actually playing with them, but I do love storytelling a lot and I love family gameplay and legacies. That Aspen's story kind of expanded from her being in university, having a relationship with Sergio Romeo from Windenburg, to making a full-fledged like storyline legacy for her where I'm making her parents, her grandparents, her aunts and uncles, like everyone in her family I have almost created, that I'm so invested in their story that I don't really want to move on to Gen 2, which is actually going to be her son Winston. And I do need to move on because he's going to be going off into university soon, and I want to play a little bit more of him because he wants to become a music producer, because his father Sergio Romeo was like a musician type of person or loved DJing and music, and he was heavily inspired by like him and like people around him, even his grandmother Aspen Diane O'Connor. And I want to see how well I do with that, especially knowing that university I have not played in a very long time since I played with Bob Pancakes. But I will say this family is my favorite. I don't know if you ever had a family in The Sims, whether it's Sims 1, 2, 3, or 4, or any Sims game, where you fell in love with who they are like as a sim, like the vibes, the culture, the surrounding area, the sims that they are making friends with or relationships with, or even like stories that you tell with them. I don't know if you have that, but if you do, please let me know in the comments because this family is so much more different than like my elder household that I have here on the YouTube channel, and then all of my other legacies that I have like 21 gens with. It's like the family feels real. Where Aspen, she went to university to become a doctor because her mom, Aspen Diane, was a doctor, an actress, a very famous sim. But the thing is though, Aspen Marie didn't really want to use her fame to get ahead in life where she used her status. Like being a Nepo baby was not really what she wanted to be. However, she was born into the family, but she didn't want to like cleanse her celebrity fame status. So she's utilizing it to her advantage where she's utilizing her platform for good to raise awareness for like, healthcare and doctors and education and like schooling in general. And especially people who have like lost parents at a very young age, especially because her son Winston lost his father at a very young age because Sergio Romeo was dumb and decided to not only go outside in the winter, but he went out into the winter with no coat, no nothing, and swam and froze to death. So his father's a little bit crazy, but Aspen has like a huge heart for family to bring them together, whether it's for food, clothing, housing, whatever it might be. And she wants to do right by her mother because her mother was like a very, entrepreneur type of person who always wanted to give back, and she loved fundraising. She always did a bunch of gala events. And I've been utilizing a lot of Get Famous features that I haven't used before, like the DJ mixing station for Winston, the video station, which I technically use in almost every single house, but I haven't played with the acting career, and I haven't really utilized a lot of the other features you can get with Get Famous, especially living in the world. And that is why I'm building like this elder senior home for my sim Royce O'Connor, Aspen Marie's father, Aspen Diane's ex, well, not technically ex, more so husband. He's a widow. He honestly is like senile and crazy, but I'll explain why. But the reason why I haven't done a lot of gameplay videos here on YouTube in a while, especially in The Sims 4, it's because I'm in my own little world at 2 a.m. with my blanket and my juice, playing my current households like the O'Connor and the Elder family. Like those two families are my bread and butter, my ride or die that I could never get rid of. Every time we have a big patch update, I update my mods, update their outfits, update their houses that's missing, and then continue to play with them at 2 a.m. with my blanket and juice. Because those two households are like my safe haven. They are two separate save files, two separate stories. One's elders having a child or adopting a child in their elder stage, and the other one, this one, is like a mixture between being famous, an actress, a doctor, musician, traveling, drama, just a lot of chaos and destruction, but a lot of close family moments in this save file that I find whenever I play offline, I forget to record sometimes. But when I do, I like to have like that nice sit down moment with no face cam and just talk about the Sims that I'm playing that I deeply, deeply love. Even though I started playing with elders like late like last year, it's been so much fun navigating different stories that I haven't told for myself or to you all in The Sims, whether it's The Sims 2, 3, 4, or 1. But I find it so much more fun to play around with ideas, play around with outfits, houses, the way I decorate the rooms. I always want to make sure that they feel alive and well lived in. That's why it takes me forever to do anything in The Sims, whether The Sims 4 or The Sims 2. It's because I'm making them well detailed to the point where I feel like someone actually lives here or no one lives here, whether it's lived in or abandoned, get something. But I find like whenever I'm playing The Sims 4 specifically, like as of lately, I've been replaying old packs that sparked a lot of joy to me when they first released, like Growing Together, Seasons, Get Famous, Get to Work, Parenthood. Like those packs are so much more fun that I didn't realize that they had a lot of benefit to my everyday gameplay. Of course, the core features, Seasons being Seasons, Discovery University being University, high school years, Parenthood, they have key features that really sell the pack or like sold the pack to me that I knew I was going to enjoy it. But of course, as more packs come to The Sims 4, you kind of put the old packs to the side and forget about them. So I'm now like revisiting them to see what they truly have to offer, especially in like the new day and age of The Sims 4 and this is being a new simmer in 2025. We have so many packs. There's almost 100 DLCs in The Sims 4, which is insane, I feel. That's a lot of money and a lot of packs because packs are expensive. $40 for an EP, $20 for a game pack, $10 for a stuff pack, and then $5 for kids. That's a lot of money and it adds up very quickly. And I've seen those numbers and they are absolutely insane. But with that being said, if you do want to buy any packs in The Sims 4, now will be the perfect time to do so because there's currently a sale happening up until February 10th, 2025, which is a Monday. And also certain packs are up to 50% off, which I think is really good, a very great deal. Like Grown Together is 50% off, including Life and Death is also on sale. And I find Life and Death, even though it was the most recent EP, that has some good features like heirlooms, funerals, wills, bucket lists are fun to utilize in everyday gameplay. But if you wanted to get some packs, now would be the perfect time. And if you want to support me as a creator, you can use my creator code SpringSims at checkout on the EA app or at thesims.com. I do get like a very small commission of each purchase that you use. And I would greatly appreciate it if you do use my creator code because during the month of February, I'll be fundraising for the Alzheimer's Association. And if you're new to the channel and you're not aware, every year in the month of February, which is my birthday month, I like to fundraise for a different charity every year because me turning a new age is not as exciting. So I like to put the focus on something more important than me. And this year being the Alzheimer's Association means a lot to me. And so if you utilize my code SpringSims at checkout on the EA app or thesims.com, all that commission money that I get from the month of February will be going to the Alzheimer's Association at the end of the month. And so if you would like to use my creator code for free, you can. But if you also want to continue support monetarily, I will be leaving my Tiltify link down in the description below if you would like to donate and share with your friends and family, because more details to come when there's live streams here on YouTube and videos galore talking about it, because charity fundraising means the world to me. I love giving back. I love helping others who are in need, whether it's education, children, water, food, anything. I like helping others. And for me, trying to utilize my platform for good is what I was made for. I feel like I was put on this earth to help other people and utilize my platform in any way that I can. Talking about it, making videos about it, live streaming about it. I'm always trying to do something good in the world because the world is cray cray, as we know, and I want to make the world a better place one step at a time with the platform that I have, whether it's on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is. I'm going to use it to my advantage until the day I die. But nonetheless, enough of my spiel. I would like to talk about the build because let me tell you, ooh, this man child, the chaotic person that Royce O'Connor is. If you have not seen the most recent current household video that I did for my O'Connor family, I will link that playlist down below because it goes from the beginning when I first started to like most recent. And Royce O'Connor is Aspen Marie's, father. And Royce O'Connor was married to Aspen Diane O'Connor, who was a famous celebrity, actress, philanthropist, doctor. She did literally anything and everything to one, entertain people, but also help other people, when they were in need. And I find Aspen Diane was such a visionary, such an educator, an inspiration to all people, even her own daughter, Aspen Marie. Aspen Diane named her daughter after herself, but just gave the middle name Marie after like her mother. So I thought it was kind of funny, like play on words. But essentially, Aspen Diane did so much for the world and so much for her local community because she used to live in, I believe, Delso Valley, and then she like moved across in different places here and there as like she grew up. But her hometown was Delso Valley, and she actually lived in this general area. Her original home is no longer here because it's been, taken down and renovated and remodeled and stuff that it was gone. But essentially, she always likes to go back to our roots and helping people who are wanting to, who are needing something, whether it's food, water, education, clothes, whatever it is. And when Royce and Aspen Diane met each other back in like university, kind of fell in love. They were two peas in a pod, but little did I know that Royce O'Connor was probably the most terrible person in the entire world later in his years. Because when Aspen Diane opened up her own charity foundation to support, children, teachers, educators, anyone who were needing something, Royce was like a businessman. He had this idea that he wanted to support his wife in her endeavors and continued to make it grow over time, even after she was gone. And when she left, she kind of left all the whole business and ideas to him. He utilized them in a very not such of a good way. He started utilizing the funds to one, afford the bills of the house and also keep the lights on for the foundation. He traveled quite a bit for himself. He utilized it for other crazy adventures that I shall not name because that would just be bad. But he just utilized them in a very wrong way that it kind of depleted the funds that he was getting from the foundation through charity donations and things like that. It was hurting him more than he knew, but it was also hurting Aspen Marie, which is his daughter. And she's like in her late 40s right now. And she's going to be having another baby soon, which is crazy to me because this lady, Aspen Marie, she's stressing me out because she wanted another baby. Like her little like bucket list that we got with life and death, she literally put, I want another baby or like baby something. And I'm like, Aspen Marie, what are we doing? You have 3 kids. I can't go through another infant stage again. I'm not ready. But at the same time, I kind of am, and I want to see what it's like to, I don't know, have another baby, especially since, she already had 2 kids not too long ago, and they're going to be toddlers very soon. So having like that age gap is, I guess, okay, but also just wild within itself. Plus, I have aging off, and I don't really age my Sims until I feel like I'm ready to age them. But going back to the whole scenario with Royce, because when Royce was like dealing with like a lot of financial troubles, he was on the verge of losing his house, which is Aspen Marie's childhood home in Brindleland Bay. And that's kind of where she grew up. She went to school, she met her friends, she met a lot of new people there. And of course, she was a Nepo baby and she didn't like using her Nepo baby-ness, I guess that's a word, to get ahead in life. And she didn't really tell people that she was well, they people knew who her mother was, but she didn't like brag about it all the time, saying, "Oh yeah, my mom's a famous actress. She's a doctor. She helps so many people." Yeah, yeah, yeah. She didn't really do all of that stuff because she didn't want to, seem like bratty or rude or like obnoxious in a way. She was very grounded. She was very apologetic. She always wanted to make sure people knew that she wasn't using her fame to get ahead in life, if that makes sense. And so pushing forward, like several years later, when Aspen Marie's mom died, like from like other things, she and her father didn't have a very good family dynamic. It was close for a minute, and then over time it got distant. And then it got very difficult. And in the last recent episode, I believe the family dynamic is now difficult, which I did not anticipate for it to happen because Aspen, she always wanted to have her father in her life to, be there for her in her time of need, whether it was her having kids or her getting married or going through college. Because when she went through college, she had no one. She had no one to, lean on. Her father wasn't there. Her father was very like distant, living in Brindleton Bay with his dog and living his life, which was not very great. He was on his travels. But she only had to rely on herself. And that's what she kind of put in her way. Like she focused more on her studies, herself, her mental health, her everything to get ahead in life the right way that she wanted to do. So she went to school to become a doctor, and right now she's at level 9 of her career in the doctor career that came with Get to Work, which by the way is not a rabbit hole career. You can go to work with your Sims. It is a little bit buggy, but I will say Get to Work has been the most fun for me playing through Aspen and understanding what it takes to be a doctor in The Sims 4. And I'm hoping that we get more like active careers, but also careers that are fun to play around with, but also that can expand on existing packs like Discover University or Parenthood or other different things that may seem good to utilize if you have like one pack or two packs or no packs, but just the one. I learned that over time as Ashton kind of got older, she had Winston, and Winston's father is Sergio Romeo, if you don't remember. She met Sergio Romeo while she was in university. They dated for a very long time. They went on dates. I have screenshots galore of them dating. And when she met Sergio Romeo, she wasn't too sure. He kind of was like, not like the roommate, but he was her confidant, like that person she could go to for anything. And, they got together, they started dating. Sergio Romeo actually even engaged to Aspen like on a whim because like he was so in love with her and knew that he wanted to be with her for the rest of his life, and Aspen felt the same way. She said yes, and then he died, and that was just even awful. And I honestly don't like when my Sims like die in the game because it's so heartbreaking when I love him so much. But when Sergio Romeo just like unexpectedly just like left, I was so distraught that I'm like, how can I tie this to my everyday gameplay? And so the story kind of went like Sergio Romeo like just froze to death basically in the game. And I wanted to make it in a way where it was like sad but also happy at the same time because Sergio Romeo never really wanted people to see him as like the frat boy, the like the happy go lucky. Like they wanted he wanted people to have him like be remembered by like the good guy, the person that was always there for people in time of need, and he was. And it kind of go to show that when Winston Jordan O'Connor, Aspen and Sergio's child, was born, he never really got to see his father. Like he never met his father, like ever. So like he of course like remembers his father because Aspen talked about him a lot through like stories and photos and even like visiting his gravesite. It's been so like encouraging for him to honor him in the best way, and that was through music. And Winston actually got nominated for an award for a song that he wrote called Right On, inspired by his parents. And it was so nice to see how he just grew up over time from being a child to now him being a teenager, going to high school on a scholarship that he got on his own in Copperdale. And it brings me joy to know that he's going to have a life that's going to benefit him, but then also like his future. If he has kids, if he adopts, I don't know. But I can see his future just becoming more brighter and brighter. And when he got nominated for an award, it was in that moment where I realized that this was going to be something really great. Of course, it went sideways, and Aspen Marie got the award for Best Video, which I have no clue and no recollection of actually having her make a video. Probably did off camera and I don't remember. but she won best video, so the award was still in the family, which is kind of great, and didn't go to like some rando. But when she won the award, she was telling that this award was not only for me, it was for the whole family, it was for Sergio. And of course, like she's now currently engaged to her best friend from high school, but also her real estate agent at the same time, who now left real estate to become a lawyer, the whole ordeal. But essentially, she now is like in a happy place where she has 3 kids, soon to be one on the way at some point soon, doesn't know it yet, has to go and get a checkup soon. But her father, Royce, came into the picture unexpectedly at the award show. Of course, like they kind of talked between that time where when she found that she was pregnant with, the twins, Angus and Leanna, she was like happy to have her, like have him in his life. Told her or told him about the twin, that she was pregnant, and like the whole, it was a happy, happy, joy, joy. And of course, Winston got to meet his grandfather, and it was also very nice. But then things kind of started changing over time when Royce kind of blurted out of like an argument of randomness that he's losing the house. And Aspen was like, "Wait a minute, what do you mean that you're losing the house?" And he was like, "Yeah, well, I can't pay the bills anymore. I'm not able to afford the household bills, and also on top of that, I'm losing the foundation." And Aspen was like spiraling and arguing, and I'm thinking like, what do you mean you're losing the house, my childhood home that I've lived in my entire life? You're also losing like mom's foundation. Mom's foundation was built on trust, honesty, encouragement, growth, and helping other people in need. And she didn't know at the time that Royce used all the money, like over 1 million simoleons for his own personal gain. I don't know if something shifted in his head or not, but he was utilizing them in a not a very good way. He was going out and buying lavishless things and traveling so much and buying clothes that he didn't really need. And so I'm at this point where we have to go through the childhood home for Aspen to gather things that she may have wanted to sell or give away to other people. And I'm not really ready for that yet, even though I'm building this house for Royce, because this house is actually a senior living center where Royce and these 4 other elders are going to be living here. Royce lives on the left side, and the 3 other elders live on the other side. And I'm just hopeful that Royce will come to terms that what he did was wrong, and what he did was probably very unforgivable, because losing over 1 million simoleons in a charity foundation is insane. But then also losing the childhood home, like he could have gotten something. He doesn't really have like a pension or anything anymore because he lost that in some weird scheme that he signed up for and lost everything. This was like back when he was like 40 years old or whatever. But he just had this idea that he can get it back. He can do all these things like to earn the money back and not have Aspen like remember or like, learn about what happened, because a scandal was about to come out very, very soon if he was not careful. But Aspen was like, "You know what, Dad, you're awful. I can't forgive you. What you're doing is not great. You're losing mom's foundation. You're losing my trust. You're losing your grandkids' trust. Winston may not forgive you anymore." And the thing is, Winston doesn't even know, because Aspen like shooed him off downstairs to go sit with Jack Collins, who she's currently engaged to. And Winston doesn't know, and Jack kind of suspected it, like he kind of understood what was going on with the situation when they got back at home. But Winston doesn't know. He still thinks his grandpa is like the best person in the world, like a true inspiration. Of the stuff that he's done over his years, so inspiring. But I don't think, if he knows, like he won't be able to forgive him. And I'm kind of scared about that. But I'm just hopeful that Aspen will do something, or figure out something to fix the foundation and get the money back, or some way somehow she'll have to do something, maybe do more gala events, charity fundraising, make more videos, and just keep donating and donating and donating to the cause. But the thing is, though, she had to use her own money to, one, not only get her father out of the house, her childhood home that he refuses to pay the bills for because he has no money. She also had to use her money to get him into this facility, because this facility is very luxurious. It's filled with like a bunch of like retired actors. A lot of celebrities lived here. And so the or technically the 3 or 4 celebrities that live here in this property on the right side are retired. They are well famous, very well rich, and they have grandkids galore in different parts of the world. And Royce over here is just broke and alone. So he's trying his best to repair the relationship that he broke with Aspen, but also his grandkids. Like, I'm scared. I'm really scared for him. So at this point in his life, he has no job, he has no money, but he's utilizing his skill set, his business skill set, the right way by helping the elders in this like facility to get back into the acting game, make some videos, make some movies, make music, whatever it might he might has to do to get back in good graces with people, especially the trust that he broke with certain people, not only his daughter, but people that he's met in his past life that are still alive. And I think when you see the next episode of the O'Connor Diaries, you'll understand like what truly happened and what Aspen is feeling, because right now she's going through a lot of emotions of having another baby, her father's being crazy, and then having to eventually move out of her own home and like fix the foundation. Like, there's so many crazy things she has to do that she does not want to do it alone and does not know how to ask for help, especially this late in the game. But nonetheless, all that drama being said, Royce O'Connor cannot be trusted with money, and I don't think I'll ever trust him ever again. He's an elder now, and I'm just not ready. I'm not ready to rebuild the trust that I had to do over so many IRL years. Like, when I'm telling you, it took IRL years to get to a very nice relationship with Royce, and then he threw it all away to make it difficult. This man is insane. But regardless, I'm going to go ahead and go into the game and show you the entire build in Delso Valley so you can kind of get the vibe of what was going on here and just understand where I'm getting, especially with Royce and the 4 little other elders at this point in this current time of the home. So now that we're officially in the game, this is the entire lot. It's built in Delso Valley on a 40 by 30 lot. It's 2 houses on 1 lot, consists of 4 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms in total. And I will say this is my favorite like build in a while, especially for a current household that I'm deeply passionate about. And to be honest, Royce O'Connor, not the nicest person in the entire world. Do not trust him with your money, your business, or anything. He will make you broke, sad, and alone. Literally. I'm not joking. He will. He almost did it to his daughter, and I was like, best boy, you better step back or we're gonna have problems. I might delete you. But essentially, this property is for Royce, and then 3, 4 other elders will live on this property. Royce, his house is technically on this side. I wanted to capture his home that was fit for the community that was already built here, but I furnished it to his general likeness. And I'm going to eventually add in some of the stuff that we have from the old house to this house, so that way his personality is there, like the photos from the wall, and then of course Aspen's old childhood stuff, and then of course his grandkids' paintings and drawings that we'll add to the wall and things like that. But essentially, his home is probably my favorite part because it's very small, very Brindleland Bay-esque, but in a Delso Valley world. And like I said, I wanted to keep it very simple but cluttered. And I really like his entryway. It's filled with a lot of like shoes. He loves music. He has his bulletin board, of course, for his kids, notes to remind himself for things. He loves working out occasionally. He does yoga. He has a little like mailbox over here, his mirror. And the one thing that he's going to be doing throughout his time of living here to earn the money back for the foundation on his own time is by making nectar. And I have a nectar making station in the backyard that he'll use eventually. But I'm thinking that down the line, to make the business, a family business, more profitable over time, is to make nectar and have like a nectary vineyard, whatever. So he'll start it and then pass it down to his grandkids, because Aspen is not willing to cooperate with Royce right now, as we know. But I'm thinking of having to make like some nectar, so I have some nectar racks in the corner. I even have a little kids corner for him to read some books or whenever his grandkids come over. I will say Grown Together has some really nice objects. Like this right here is so cute. Very well hand-drawn kid art, like sharks. We've got the little big giant thing from high school years, a llama, the beach, some grapes. Like this little corner is like what I call the family corner. So we have this over here. We have a little storage area just for like knickknacks and whatnot. Over here is the dining room, which I was struggling for this for a while because the house, the way I built it was so weird and I was very confused. So I split it down the middle, made the dining room a lot smaller. We have a little reading nook over here with some books on top, which are functional, which I do like. This one's not a book, but these two are, or actually technically these three right here are books. So you can gather, read a little bit, and you're good to go. We have a little pet bowl over here because Royce does have a dog who I believe is going to be an elder very soon. So I have this right here. And then on this side, we have his kitchen, which is of course another awkwardly shaped room. It is a very small kitchen, but we do have some clutter items. We have his casserole dish, his flour tin, his other everyday jar. And then on this side, we have his bedroom, which again, Royce, he doesn't have a lot of furniture, doesn't have a lot of money, doesn't have a lot of prestige. He's kind of a celebrity, but he's not like the celebrity that has like his name out there. I think he's a level 2, a tier 2 celebrity, but I might like make him a notable newcomer because think of the story and I want to be messy with him basically. But I want to make his room very cozy, so I added a lot of like greens and browns. Of course, this is my favorite bed from Dream Home Decorator. I got a nice little chair from Discover University. And even like the cottage living dresser drawer combo. And the everyday clutter kit comes in like it has a lot of good items. Like we have like the teeth, we have the comb, we have the watch, we have the chess table. Like the everyday clutter kit and the bathroom clutter kit are like two of my favorites that I wish we had more of because little things like that make the home more alive to me. So having these things in here for his bedroom just made perfect sense. I have some autographs willing to, or I have some autographs here on the wall that will eventually like fill in with like other celebrities that he'll meet eventually. So we'll have those over here. We have his bathroom, and then on this side is his living room. Of course, we have a bunch of diplomas on the wall, and then some empty collage frames that I eventually will add in some of his photos, Aspen's photos, so he has something to look at on his wall. Because I think I might eventually like, bring Aspen over because she has kids and those are his grandkids. So I'm like, here, have them for the weekend, have fun, do what you want to do, take some photos and add them to the wall. So we'll do something like that, a little family fun day. Of course, we have this little backyard, and I thought since this is technically a celebrity community, elder community, they have security cameras in the front and backyard. And we have his nectar making station, his beehive, his fire pit, and a swing set. Mainly, this back area is just for the kids and the kids alone. For him to come back here, it's only for the nectar making and the bee box, and that's it. But I thought, his backyard made a lot of sense. And then on this side of the property is where the rest of the elders will be living. And I'm still contemplating because I haven't made these elders yet. But I'm thinking 4 elders will live here. 1 elder will live in here because they essentially are just a single sim who has a couple of grandkids roaming around the town. So I wanted to make their bedroom very nice, clean cut. We have some school projects that the grandkids that made. We have the San Francisco Bridge, or the what do you call it, the San Sequoia Bridge technically over here. We have some boards. We have a mood board here because I'm thinking that this sim would be like a retired interior designer. So they would be living in this room over here. Of course, more school projects from the grandkids. Most of the stuff on the wall is from their grandkids. And they didn't live like the best life in terms of like how they were living. They didn't like live a very lavish life. They lived an okay life. And they became famous from like renovating celebrity homes, like the HDTV, vibes. That was this sim right here. That's what they did for a living. We have their bedroom, and then we have the main living area, which I will say, when I did this house, this side, The layout was a little bit tricky because I didn't really know what I was gonna do with the whole vibe of this home. I was still planning out the stories in my head as I was building this on stream. And I think I came to the conclusion that this is like a very family centric community. Grandkids, kids, people from the neighborhood come over, hang out, have fun, do what you want to do. And this is kind of where they gather and have like a bunch of fun time. Royce comes here a lot because his home is very small and this house is very large. So they have a lot of gatherings, mainly in the living room and also the dining room and kitchen, since it's the biggest room in the home. And I was going to split this in half where the dining room and kitchen were going to be separate through a spandrel, but I felt having it open made more sense. And plus, you can kind of breathe in that nice little cooking air that you need during the holiday season. But I really love their kitchen. I didn't add too many appliances because I felt it would be too much if I did. So we have the coffee maker, a basic microwave. We even have a pressure cooker, stove, and a little TV. I was gonna probably add in like maybe one of the other little machines that we have, but I'm like, I want to have enough counter space so that way your Sims can like cook together. I believe your Sims can cook on this one, and I believe, yeah, your Sims can also cook on this one. So there's 1, 2, 3 spaces for your Sims to cook together. And I believe that feature came with Cottage Living, but it might have been patched into base game. I'm not entirely sure. Either way, the cooking together feature is my favorite feature because I did it last night in my Elder save file, and it was so cute when they were like cooking their little pies together and whatnot. But I love their kitchen. I love their dining room. I love their living room. And then we have their hallway on this side. They do have laundry, and I was a little bit skeptical about it because laundry is great to have in the game for realism, but laundry day stuff is kind of buggy in terms of like your house will catch on fire sometimes. If you don't clean the lint trap, it might be messy. But I felt in terms of realism, I wanted to add this in here. I might eventually like replace this after I upload to the gallery with a closing line. Then that way I can utilize the space for like a reading nook if need be. But for right now, laundry area, we have their main hallway. And then in this bedroom, I was thinking that there was 2 Sims that lived in here. One is more like an athletic Sim because I have the yoga mat. They're more like a yoga instructor, so they go and do yoga sessions at the local gym, but also on this property, which is another little thing that I'll mention later. But they have a little yoga mat over here. And then on the other side, this sim is more about technology and science. So they were more of like a tech guru when they were younger. And of course, all these sims are all retired. And they became famous through making like commercials because I feel like when you live in Del Sol Valley, you do that onesie twosie commercial that pops up on the TV every once in a while and you get money over time. So one person's a yoga instructor, made yoga videos, became famous from that. The other person, tech guru, through the tech guru career, and made technology videos over time and had technology commercials in their prime. And then this family over here, these 2 Sims that will live here, they're just kind of like the normal Sims that didn't have, you know, a rich, fancy lifestyle. They lived their lives. One was an educator, one was more of a painter, and they lived their lives that way. Of course, like I said, when you live in Del Sol Valley, you make commercials that pop up once or twice. The educator made videos and commercials about, you know, education, how important it is to help the teachers, help the district to make sure that they have good quality books, food, everything, and people who are like on meal plans, making sure the kids get everything that they need in order to succeed in life. And then of course the other person, the painter, made famous paintings for the celebrities in Del Sol Valley. So they pretty much are just here. They do have a little like pet on the side that is also an elder that I eventually will make. And I'm thinking of making a creative sim video talking more about the individual Sims that live in this property, just so you can kind of see what they look like and you can kind of understand the vibes. But they do have a small little animal. I'm not sure if it's going to be a dog or a cat, but I'm thinking a cat because the pet bed is small. But I'm thinking also too a small dog, since small dogs will remain small. Maybe a Maltese like my dog, Randy Joe. But we do have their bathroom and their other bathroom, which is their hallway bathroom, and then their main hallway, which is a come in here, put their stuff off, and then go to their individual spaces as they usually do. But this is their this is their whole home, which I do love. And then on the backyard, they do have their pool, they have their lounge chairs, and of course some planter boxes right here. And then in the main back area, which is like the main fun thing that I want to talk about, is that this right here, this building, one, stunning. I think so. I'm biased because I built it, but this building right here has a lot. So in this room, technically every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, they have yoga. And every Tuesday, Thursday is like painting. And then on the weekends is like the room is empty to do whatever you want, basically. But Monday, Wednesday, Friday, yoga, Tuesday, Thursday, painting. And I have to manually like remove these and add the things that I need for those designated days. And I have it on my calendar in The Sims 4 of like, these are the days that you do yoga. These are the days that you do painting and etc. And then over here is where they do all of their gardening. They do plant their own produce, so they eventually harvest it, sell it at the local farmer's market, or cook it so that they don't have to utilize a lot of resources and spend more money. So we have 1, 2 planter boxes, and then we have 4 vertical planter boxes and then 2 garden pots. We have a bee box. And then we just have random stands that are just there for decor. And then over here is basically where Royce does a lot of his work to help the elders that live here and local people in Delso Valley to like film commercials, make videos, make music, whatever it might be. So I wanted to make this like fake garage thing into a video making area. Of course, we have the microphone stand, we have the pedestal with the commercial CDs, and we have some markers on the floor. And something that I forgot that was a thing in The Sims 4 was Get Famous. This camera is actually functional. Your Sims can utilize it. If you click on it, you can adjust the camera. You can also operate the camera and pretend that you're filming a commercial. So this was like my favorite object that I wanted to include into this build. And then of course we have a bunch of control desks and utilities and equipment back here. We have the drone, we have the video station, and also the makeup station over here. And that's pretty much the entirety of the build, I will say. And it is eco-friendly, so there's solar panels on every single roof, which I wanted to make sure that the builds weren't too expensive and they just look really nice and they came with seasons. But regardless, as always, if you do want to download this house's property for your own game, it is already up on the gallery under the hashtag SpringSims, or my gallery ID, which is also SpringSims. But as always, let me know your thoughts, your opinions about the story, the build, and just how your day is going overall. But as always, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye!